What is up, YouTube? This is T-Quentin1 coming at you with another video, and today I'm going to talk to you about Split, the latest M. Night Shyamalan film. Yeah, I know most of you probably cringed after I said his name, but despite over a decade of sucking, Night has had a bit of an upswing lately. Although I didn't watch it, many people found The Visit to be surprisingly well done, and Split is getting a similar reception. Now, if you don't know from the trailer, Split is the story of Kevin, a man with 23 different personalities. And I think the question on everyone's mind is, does James McAvoy pull it off? And in my opinion, yeah. McAvoy is already such an underrated actor, and he just puts on a clinic in this movie. While we only spend time with about 9 of the personalities, he still does a great job making each of them feel unique. Another thing that impressed me was how quickly he can switch between them. Like, in the same shot, he goes from one identity to the next, and it's just amazing. For those wondering, my personal favorite of all the personalities was Barry, but again, all of them were interesting and distinct. What about the rest of the movie, though? Yeah, it's definitely got its good and bad. Besides McAvoy, Anya Taylor-Joy is pretty good as the main girl, although she's very reserved. There's a sense of mystery to her character that honestly got me pretty invested in what happened to her. And I know this is probably going to be divisive, but I actually found the droning musical score to be pretty creepy, and it added a real ambience to a lot of the scenes. I also thought Betty Buckley was pretty good as Kevin's psychiatrist. She's certainly a lot better here than she was in The Happening. And the very ending of this movie, no spoilers, gets me really excited for what's to come. But let's talk about the flaws, because this movie does have some big ones. Like all Shyamalan movies, there are some pacing issues in this film. It's a very slow burn, and I can honestly say I was a little bored at times. But most of the film was fairly entertaining, and while the two main performances are pretty good, the others were less than impressive. The other two girls just weren't very convincing, and it has that typical Shyamalan problem of people saying things that nobody ever says. Like, these characters are supposed to be quote unquote normal, but some of the times they just act like total weirdos. On top of that, it also has another trademark Shyamalan problem of spelling everything out. For instance, when Anya Taylor-Joy is first introduced, two girls are talking about her, and they literally spell out her entire personality. It also had some really wonky editing that I found to be really distracting, especially in some of the psychiatrist scenes. And there's a series of flashbacks that, while do prove necessary by the end of the film, are tacked on to such random parts that it almost felt like they threw darts at different scenes just to decide where to place them. And there are some really far-fetched things introduced in the final act that definitely required a strong suspension of disbelief. All in all, I think Split is a pretty average movie. It's better than anything Shyamalan's produced in years, and McAvoy gives a great performance, but there are some serious flaws. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 because I actually found it to be okay. Steve Quentin 1, signing out.